It's morning and Jacob is just ahead of what he knows is going to be the Sunday scrum, whereby every man, woman and child within a 50-mile radius has a sudden collective desire to buy either a chair or a picture frame or peach and orange scented tea lights. Jacob is a beacon against this weekly horde. Jacob keeps people off the roads by taking chairs or picture frames to their doors. Jacob is doing a service and as such sees himself as having a right of way on any given road. Jacob is also feeling the effect of any driver in a large, slow work vehicle in that it takes a little longer to get up to speed. Once he has that momentum, he's not going to give it up. Couple this with the sitting down to dinner posture and commanding view of the traffic, Jacob is not one for giving inches. He's attempting to make his way back along the M4 and then down the M32 before the Sunday scrum and believes he can just about make it if he can maintain the Mercedes Sprinter box van at 90 miles per hour. There are, however, several hundred car-shaped snags. Some people are not in quite the same hurry as Jacob but have the audacity to sit in his way at the prescribed speed limit. His preferred method of moving these people is to sit as close as possible to the car in front. He knows that the highway code states a 2-second gap, but he's in a hurry, and 2 seconds is way, way too far for a driver of his calibre. After joining the M4 at junction 18 and heading west down the hill towards Bristol, Jacob is dispatched with 8 cars. 1 or 2 beeped, but most just got out of the way. He's in with a shout of making it. Jacob reaches junction 19, thrusting the throttle as he goes down the ratios, matching engine speed to the gearbox as he decelerates down the exit slip road and onto the M32. He joins the traffic. It's beginning to pick up. He's moving through the gears, getting back up to his cruising speed. He's close. He knows he's close. With a mile to go, Jacob is interrupted by a silver Mercedes S-Class in his lane. He can see that the Benz is keeping a respectful distance from the car in front of it, but he wants those extra seconds. Jacob moves in, but the Merc does not move out. He can't see any gap between his bonnet and the Merc's boot. Still, it doesn't move. He flashes his lights, but he's become blinkered. Jacob has made a mistake. Jacob has become so focused on the vehicle in front of him, he can't see that the traffic has come to a sudden stop a few car lengths ahead. The Merc driver, a retired man who does a bit of airport transport work on the side, has made a similar mistake by looking into his mirror for too long at the van that he's certainly not going to be bullied by. The situation is now in the hands of each vehicle's safety systems. The S-Class sounds a warning beep, and as its driver's attention begins to slow refocus onto the situation, the machine has already tightened the seatbelts, set the ABS to attack, and readied all of the airbags into a pre-fire standby. The S-Class does not have a mind as such, but its body is braced for impact. Jacob does not have these proactive systems, but he does have youth. Instinct has already begun moving his foot away from the throttle before he's fully noticed the brake lights in his peripheral vision. When the moment comes and the Merc in front goes from cruise to red alert, he's almost ready. His van is, save for a flat-packed glass-top table, empty. The brakes are as good as they are going to get, but you can't fight this kind of margin. He hits the back of the S-Class with enough force to throw him forward into the explosive punch of an airbag. The van begins to rotate at the back, leaving Jacob, fully jacked on adrenaline, soaring at the steering wheel, attempting to wrestle the twisting force of the impact. The S-Class, with twice the mass to arrest, is struggling. The 2 Mercs, joined, make contact with the queue half a second later. The driver of the S-Class fares well right up to the moment he has a heart attack from the shock. Jacob is unable to straighten his van. The second impact throws it further sideways, breaking free of the S-Class and into the central barrier. The back lifts with enough clearance to mount the metal fence, forcing Jacob's van onto its side and into the path of a fully loaded HGV. Jacob's last waking thought for the next 23 years is a dirty joke made at the depot about a possible use for a glass table. 20 minutes later, with a portion of the M32 shut, an Audi driver climbs out of his car determined to recreate an advert he's seen on Facebook. He happens to have a football in the boot for just such an occasion. The driver feels disappointment that the Audi in the same trim and colour combination that usually sits a couple of cars behind him is absent. He thought they could have been mates.